Hi, stoner friends. This is Two Stone Detectives.
A true crime podcast.
My name is Sandy.
And I'm Yaya, and welcome to our very first episode.
And our first episode we will bring to you today is a case in our hometown, New Jersey. It's New Jersey's youngest serial killer. Nothing to be proud of course, but very, very interesting case. And the reason that we're talking about it is because he was recently sentenced in October for the murders of three young women and attempted murder of another. So this is the case of
Khalil Wheeler Weaver. Crazy thing about this, about this whole case is, well, one of the craziest things, because there's so many fucking crazy details about this case. This could have been avoided. I think two of the deaths and the attack could have been avoided had they really taken this seriously. For this serial killer to be labeled the youngest serial killer in New Jersey, I can't believe it wasn't covered the way it should have been. Like, this should have been all over the news.
Yeah.
Everyone should have known about this. The only reason why I knew about it was because I happen to know someone who knows Weaver.
Fucker.
Face.
Bitch.
Fucker.
Motherfucker.
I can't believe it. And then another sick thing about this too is how little of a fuck he gave. How quick he was able to just move on to the next and just dispose these bodies, and just like no remorse, nothing. And what's fascinating about this case is how he was caught. If it wasn't for one of the victims' sister and her friends, who knows how long it would have gone, unsolved.
Yeah, so that's what's fascinating for sure about the case, that the way that he was caught, it wasn't your average law enforcement. No, it was like citizens like you and I, just fucking common logic, common sense. But we're gonna begin with the first victim on September 1st, 2016. So this case is from 2016. An abandoned building went up in flames. The house was located on Lakeside Avenue in the city of Orange. Inside was the body of Robin West, who was the his very first victim. I'm just going to put her. She's so beautiful. It is said that she was adventurous, strong-minded, and a daughter of a pastor even. And she loved to sing. She ended up working as a sex worker, exotic dancer in the Philly area. And in late August, that's when she visited New Jersey with her friend. So the story took place in the fall of 2016. Her and her friends decided to visit New Jersey and spend a couple nights there. And on 8/31, so the end of August, they went out in Newark. You guys, Newark is so freaking close to us. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's 20
It's
minutes.
Insane. Yeah. 20 minutes. And if you want to be a little badass and drive really fast, you'll probably get there in like 10, 15 minutes.
10, 15. No traffic, 10 minutes.
No traffic. No, yeah. Yeah, like if it's late night and there's absolutely no traffic, you could get there really fast.
We've hung out there before.
Oh, yeah. I have good friends from Newark.
There's, venues there.
Restaurants, like amazing food.
Yeah.
And just like
So
every city, like there's the hood and there's a good part. So
mhm.
yeah, it's Newark. Don't get discouraged, but there's good parts and there's bad parts
Right,
everywhere you
big
go.
city. So yeah, so her and her girlfriend went out into work on this day, and as they were walking down the street, a silver sedan pulled up next to them. The driver in the car, um, the friend later said that the driver was charming and he pointed at Robin, meaning I want you. Robin gets in the car. They drove to that house on Lakeside Avenue, and that would be the last time she was seen alive. Um, her friend, I mean, they were so cautious that her friend even wrote down his plates,
That is
took
so
down his
insane.
plates before they took off. Um, yeah, she was never seen alive, and that was the first victim
Mhm.
of this killing spree, and
It definitely wasn't the last one. His second victim, Joanne Brown, 33. She was of Newark, New Jersey. Um, she was actually hanging out in front of a Popeyes, and on October 22nd, Weaver picked her up. She was actually from Maine, and she came from a big family. She had one sister and six brothers, and they used to call her Billy Joe. Billy Joe, isn't that so? I love that name. I love that. I love that. I love that. It said that her childhood was really hard, and she, developed bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. But she was known to keep like a lightness to her. She just always made sure to be happy and just try to stay positive. Um, she enjoyed fashion and styling her hair. Whenever she was happy, her hair was a light color. Whenever she was sad, her hair would be like a darker color. So like I feel like, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Like
Mhm.
reading the things that they said about her, I feel like
Yeah,
she was one to like really express herself. Like, this is
mhm,
how I feel, so this is how I'm gonna dress.
yeah,
And I think
that's
that's just so
awesome.
cool, like,
It's
having that.
badass.
Yeah, it is badass. I feel like I'm really about to cry because it's so sad because these are real
People.
women. Yeah, these are real
Mhm.
people, and they're so young. Yo, I'm 34, and she died at 33. That's so crazy. That is so
Young.
insane. Like, he is such a piece of shit, and I'm so sorry to be getting emotional,
Asshole.
but he is an asshole. So, her and a friend, October 22nd, they're hanging out in front of this Popeyes, and he passed by at around 1:16. Um, her friend happened to need her cell phone, and Joanne gave her friend her cell phone. Her friend, oh my God, her friend looks at him and says, take care of her. This is my best friend.
Oh my
So
god.
she calls him, Joanne calls her friend from Wheeler's phone.
Okay.
So Joanne's friend has Weaver's cell phone number, pretty much. So he picks her up at 1:16. Around 1:30,
Okay.
Brown calls her friend.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Um, and the cell phone towers, they picked up that the phone location, like they
Uh-huh.
weren't really far from each other, like from the Popeyes to the abandoned house. It wasn't too far.
Yeah.
So he wraps her head in duct tape and he strangles her with her own jacket
Wait.
and just leaves her there in that abandoned house.
What the fuck?
At 3:03, the killer leaves. Weaver leaves. 2 minutes later, he gets home. That's how close he was
Oh my god.
to that abandoned house. There happened to be some contractors that came to the abandoned house on Highland Ave,
Okay.
and
How much time there before her body was
well,
found?
the last day that Joanne was seen, it was October
Yeah.
22nd, and when she was found was December 5th. So that's yeah, that's more than a month.
Oh my
That's
god.
horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. That's horrible. Contractors found her and they thought that she was sleeping. They were like, "Boss, I think someone's sleeping." Yeah. And when the boss got
Oh,
closer, he realized that it was Joanne Brown. That
wow,
is
what
so
a piece of
sad.
shit. What a piece of
Piece
shit.
of absolute dog shit.
So victim number 3 is um eh, it's a very sad story, but it ends in a good note for the victim. It's Tiffany Taylor, and she was able to survive this horrible, horrible piece of shit
She needs
person.
like a statue. She needs like a street named after her or like a city.
Yes.
Like,
Uh-huh.
wow. She's amazing.
Yeah. So she grew up in Jersey City before she moved to Orlando to become a professional dancer. She ended up getting pregnant over there in Orlando, and she returned to New Jersey, and she started, working as a sex worker. She was homeless. She didn't have a place to stay. She would live out of her car, sleep in her car. Um, so yeah, she was about four months pregnant when the incident happened. She met this guy. She met this guy from a friend, and this guy was obsessed with her. I mean, um, he would constantly text her, call her. He wanted to meet up with her, and she would not give him the time of the day. And finally, in April of 2016, she said yes. She gave in. Um, but I love this bitch so much. Um, her plan was to steal from him. So on April 2016, she said yes, and she went to his house and, to get paid for sex, obviously. And she said, yeah, but you got to pay me first, pay in advance. And when he paid her, she took the money and said, hold up, I got to go to my car and get a condom. So she went out and bounced on him.
As she should. As she motherfucking should.
I love that. Oh my God. When I read
That
that, I'm
was
like,
the
yes.
best. The best.
So finally, even after this hookup, the guy was obsessed with her. Even after she got a new phone, somehow he got her number from a mutual friend, and he was calling her on the new number, texting her saying like, let's meet up, let's meet up. And she finally gave in again. She's like, you know what, I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time, just take his money and that's it, right? So later in November of 2016, this happened. So from April, we're now in November, and they plan to meet up. They met at a hotel. It's the Ritz Hotel in, where was this? Oh, Elizabeth, New Jersey. Again, very short distance from home. All of these areas that these events happened are like within 5 miles from each other. I don't know.
Mhm.
So they met at the hotel, and he was wearing a ski mask and gloves. And she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, that he was cold. So that was the reason he was wearing Ladies, if you meet up with someone and they're wearing a ski mask and gloves, you better
Just
run.
just don't. Just don't. Just don't.
So they drove to a quiet place. They were going to a quiet place, and he asked her to pull over because he had to use the bathroom. So when they pulled over, he bashed her on her head and handcuffed her. Then he started choking her up, and that's when he raped her. And she said that he did this to her at least 3 times, that she will wake up and that he was behind her, just like fucking raping her. Like, what a fucking asshole.
Fucking piece of shit, yo. This
Um,
is so insane.
yeah, like I can't believe these women like dealt with this shit. Like, wow.
Mhm.
Um,
That's just sick. It's It's so unsettling, like, how can you just physically hurt someone like that? And women, not saying that men, like, deserve anything, I'm not saying that, but it's just like,
Yeah.
it's women, like, we're creators.
He
Mhm.
got out of you see footage of this, guys. He
Yeah, you
he pulls
do.
her out of the car, and she's like and he covers her with the jacket, like, from behind, so you can't tell that she's handcuffed. Obviously, they're out in public, like and tell me that when they walk up because now their hotel room is on the 2nd level. They walk up to the hotel room, and she was able to get inside so fast and kick the door behind her.
That is
He's
amazing.
He's an idiot, he's an
He
idiot.
is an idiot. He is a fucking idiot.
What's worse is the fucking cop. So wait, so yeah, she was able to get away from him. She called the cops, he ran away. She calls the cops come. There's footage of this, you guys. The cops asked her if
She let
she let yeah, if she let
and
him
she
duct
yeah,
tape her.
and you see, don't you
You see,
see
she still has the one handcuff.
the one handcuff?
I
It's
wanted to
sick.
cry.
Te da
Oh
pena.
my
'Cause
god.
this is like it's not a Law& and Order episode,
He
like,
was
this is
probably
real life.
standing behind a bush watching this all go down,
Yeah,
and the fucking cops are
and
just being stupid.
I think I also saw that she pointed out, right?
Yes.
Bro!
You guys, the worst part of the first victim that I left off, the worst part, I don't know how I forgot this, but Robin West, he burned the house down. He burned the house down, and guess what? He was out there watching as the firefighters were putting out that fire.
You
No
must
jokes.
think that you are God sent to just commit a murder and sit there and watch. And sit there and watch.
Sister Tiffany Taylor.
She's so fly. She's so dope. They're all so beautiful.
And that's how she survived.
That is amazing. She definitely was very lucky. And that's, survival like mindset, quick thinking, just
Oh, yeah.
gotta you just gotta go.
Yeah.
It's insane.
4 months pregnant. She was 4
4
months
months,
pregnant.
and he knew, right?
Yep.
He knew she was pregnant because I think she told him. It's sad.
Yo, and the 4th victim was killed a week after that incident. A
Yes,
week after.
yes. That had the police taken Tiffany seriously, Sarah's murder could have been avoided. Had they taken Robin West's murder seriously, all these other girls would have been alive today. Sarah Butler was 20 years old. 20, another baby from Montclair. She was a dancer. She was known to dance. She loved dancing. She did ballet, modern, jazz, African dances. She went to Montclair High School, and she was just known for being bubbly and lovely, and she was just known to have a big personality. She went to New Jersey City University, and she was kind of having a hard time. She wasn't really getting along with some people, so it was kind of getting hard for her. So maybe that's why she turned to getting on social media, and maybe she was looking for friends. Who knows?
Uh,
But
on
because
an app, right?
on an app, yeah, like
You're just meeting new people
you're meeting new
on
people,
the
and
regular.
it's 20. Yeah, you do it on the regular, and also it's 2016. Meeting people online and apps, I think it's such a totally an okay thing. Just make sure you got to be careful. I know I met a couple. gentlemen back in my day. And I honestly cannot believe that I am here today because I did some sketchy shit
Yes,
and I met some
girl.
sketchy men and went to like I'm a wild one. I was a wild one. I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry, Poppy. Because I couldn't really sneak them in. I couldn't. My stairs were too loud, so I had. Sorry, mom.
Yep.
Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom. But excuse me. Sorry. Back to Sarah. November of 2016. It's Thanksgiving, so it's time to go home for the holiday. And as soon as she gets home, she tells her family that she's going to meet up with a friend. And her family didn't really think much of it because, again, it was a holiday and maybe she's going to say bye to someone because they're leaving too. So
Yeah.
she takes her mom's minivan, she dresses up real cute, she puts her red extensions on, looking cute,
Aw.
trying to be cute because she is cute. And her sister notices that Sarah's phone just kept ringing and ringing and ringing.
Uh-huh.
And then once she hears Sarah pick up the phone and she's like, all right, I'm coming out. She leaves, and that's the last time that her family sees her. The next day, her mom is like, okay, maybe she stood over a friend's house. It's not common that she does this, but
Okay.
okay. But then her mom kept calling her. Sarah wasn't picking up. Her mother starts getting even more upset. They contact the police to let them know Sarah's missing. And of course, the police is the police. That's all I have to
Yeah.
say on that. So they decided to take matters into their own hands. They decide to, drive around and look, and they happen to find the blue minivan. Once
The
they get
family
to,
found it?
yeah, the family found the van.
Oh, no.
Yeah, her family and friends found the van.
Oh.
Once they pull up to the van, one of the sisters, I believe, or friends, they walk like around the car and they see her red extensions on the floor.
Oh,
So they
no.
automatically knew that something was up. So they go back home and they decide to look through her stuff. Luckily, they knew her passwords, so they were able to get into her
Yeah.
laptop. And they find out that she was she was signed up to this website, tag.com.
Tagged.
And
Okay.
Tagged is like hookup central. You're on that to hook up, pretty much. If you
Yeah.
find love, that's
Like
freaking
Tinder.
awesome. It's kind of like Tinder. Maybe some of you guys know local hookups. Local hookups was a bitch was crazy. Now soy una señora. Me quedo en la casa,
Camarita,
cocino,
camarita.
yo
Hello.
camadita. Pero a veces me pongo un poquito de crazy. Se me sale, pero ahora estamos tranquilas. So they find out that she is signed up
2
to this page.
detectives, right? The sister
Yeah,
and the
the
friend.
sister and the friend. Yep, another two detectives.
Yep.
They sign up, they check her stuff out, and they notice that the last person she spoke to, um, his page name was Little Yacht
Little
Rock,
yacht rock.
right? Some shit like that.
Yeah.
That's lame as shit. He hits her up and he offers her sex. No, he tells her, "Do you want to make some money?" And she's like, "I'm not really into scamming." Khalil, like they look through the messages, the sister and the friend, and they see that Khalil
Okay.
hits up Sarah
Oh,
and is
shit.
like, "Hey," she's like, "What's up?" He's like, "Do you want to make some money?" And she's like, "I'm not into scamming." And he was like, "No, like sex for money." And she's like, "Oh wow, how much?" Because
Don't play with a bitch, I got tuition.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I go to school and I need some
I need
money, so what
books.
we doing? Pay up. Says how much do you want? She says $500. He says okay. She's with it. I'm guessing they get on the phone and she gets, the jitters because she stood him up. A couple days pass and then she hits him up and she says that she feels bad for, leaving him hanging, but his voice didn't match the pictures. So I'm assuming by that he had fake pictures up to like this it's called Eagle Rock Reservation. It's
Yeah,
like a
we should go
park.
there.
We should go there. I
Yeah,
want to go to all.
I heard it's beautiful.
It does yeah. From what I see in pictures, like it looks gorgeous. Um they go there and that's where he kills her. And this piece of shit doesn't even like attempt to hide her
Cover his
or
track.
cover her, nothing. Just literally left her body there and put a couple leaves and branches on top of her and just went about his day. Went about his day. Um, but her sisters, they end up making a fake page because they're like, all right, this is the last guy that she spoke to. Why don't we start a
Yeah.
fake page? They start a fake page, and I believe one of them liked his page, got his attention, and he hits up the fake page.
I
This
love
is
it
some
that they use
genius
the
shit.
same thing.
The
The same
same
thing that he
bullshit.
uses, they used it right back against him.
Oof. And he took the bait. He's an idiot. He's a fucking
These
idiot.
two are badass bitches too. They're like, let's take matter
Mhm.
into our own hands.
Yep.
Cops ain't doing shit.
Cops ain't doing shit. So eventually he hits them up and he's like, pressuring them to meet up. They set up a meetup. They go to like a Panera in Montclair. But before the meetup, they go to the police and let the police know that this is the last person that Sarah spoke to. We're about to meet up with him right now. And y'all need to go do what you gotta do. So Wheeler pulls up, police pulls up, and the rest is history. But they didn't arrest him right away.
Surprise.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Joanne. It's me,
Surprise.
the police. I'm here to get
Imagine
you.
him, imagine him pulling up to the Panera like, can't wait for this next kill. Boom. Psych.
Ooh, boner kill.
Psych.
Sorry. You thought you were gonna kill this time, right? You thought you were. No, sir.
So what we know about this, I don't even want to say his name because he's not even worth.
Mm-mm.
He was 20 years old, a puny little shit from East Orange, New Jersey. He worked as a security guard at the ShopRite in Union, New Jersey. I feel like I have been there.
I'm
I
pretty
even
sure I have.
know a friend there. Like
That is insane.
he his childhood was that it is said that he didn't have many friends. He was quiet. He rarely spoke. He was like one of those that stayed under the radar. They said that he came from a good family. Like everyone was fucking shocked when they heard that it was him. The neighbors, everyone. Anyway, so he ended up like starting to DJ and dating or whatever. And he also wanted to become a cop. His stepfather was a cop, was a detective,
Mm-hmm. And
and
I think
his
his uncle.
uncle. Uh-huh.
And it makes you wonder, like, is this where you learned all this shit from? Not saying that they were teaching him, but were you like, listening to their conversations? Were you going
Yeah,
through their stuff? Like,
through their cases or
you
they think
know?
you get away, like you're untouchable. Like
Yeah.
you
It's just so insane how little of a fuck he gave. Looking for stuff on his phone on how to kill people.
and that's his downfall. Like they were able to the evidence they had against him was obviously all the text message exchanges. They were
Mhm,
able to ping his location with where the bodies were found, where the crime took
mhm.
place. They pinned that together. They
Those
also
surveillance.
yeah, and the Google searches. He
Yes.
he would literally Google he had 2 other phones, like, 2 other phones in his house. They looked at his Google searches, like, how to kill someone, like, so
He's a fucking idiot. Idiot, idiot.
yeah, and so, a couple days later after after that incident in Montclair. I think he was a couple days later was when he got arrested, and he pleaded not guilty to all charges. He said he was set up.
Yeah, someone made these, someone looked up
Someone
full
framed
searches on
me.
your phone, right? Like someone dressed up just like you and was caught on surveillance,
He
on
says it was
camera.
victim. What an idiot. Exactly. Yeah. That's not you on camera. He
That's not
was
you on camera. You fucking idiot. God, men are
so I don't know why it took so long, honestly, but 3 years later was when he was convicted.
well,
Um,
remember COVID,
2019.
and then
It happened
2020
it
happened,
happened in 2016,
and then
right?
2019,
Was when he was convicted, and then
uh-huh,
finally oh, yeah, due to COVID, he was finally sentenced now in
mhm,
2021.
yep,
The sentencing was guilty on all motherfucking counts.
11.
The judge said he made sure that he will spend the rest of his fucking years of life inside a prison cell because he cannot be walking out there in society. No, he's not a human being.
He's not. Imagine he survives the 145 years because
He's
he's not a
not
human
walking
being. He's like, I got you. That is the case of
stupid fucker.
Khalil Wheeler Weaver. All this to say, men, if you have mommy issues or daddy issues, get healed. It's okay to feel. You just cannot be out there killing. Women, if you're gonna be out, just please be safe. Do
Please be
not,
safe, guys.
please be safe. Do what you gotta do, but before anything, be safe. Don't go alone. Don't give out your cell phone. Make sure you have weapons with you, something that you can handle,
Yeah.
and just,
I think that's like what this case has opened our eyes was that
mhm,
we were saved by the grace of God because this could have literally happened to any one of
to
us,
anyone.
any one of you. So
Mhm.
we should
So
end
please,
our yeah, let's end this episode on that note and stay safe,
and
stoner
we love
fan.
you. And
We
thank
love
you so much for
you.
listening.